Good morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. Theo at Bowen's Garage here. I've been very slow in filming. I didn't do any filming last week at all. We were only in for 3 days before the bank holiday and I was running the workshop, so didn't get around to doing anything whatsoever. So I'll give you a bit of an update. You can tell I was at a wedding all weekend. I can barely see out of these little eyes of mine. Pretty bright this morning, but we're back. And we've had a good morning actually. Mini sold. This is the Mini 1. This came into us, we've had this a little while actually, but it came into us with steel wheels and wheel trims, which I've never seen on a Mini before, but I thought it looked a sensible value car. It was sub 10 grand, it's only done 29,000 miles on a 16 plate, cheap tax, nice colour. I thought it would probably sell as it was. Anyway, and Minis usually fly out the door for us. So anyway, it hung around a bit and I thought, strange. I thought it can only be the wheels. So we bought some wheels, we bought some alloys, we put a couple of tyres on it. Luckily the tyre size was the same, but two were good anyway. So put some alloys on it, I redid the pictures, did a fresh video for it as well, and stuck it on the internet on Wednesday afternoon, and it's sold and it's going to go off to Rugby on the weekend. She did come down over the bank holiday just to have a look at it on site. So as long as it drives okay, which obviously it does, that'll be away on Saturday. And so that's a lesson, I suppose. If you've got a car and you just don't think it looks right, you're not happy with the wheels, you're not happy with whatever, just change it up a bit. Take a bit of time. It's so easy, especially when you've got a lot of cars, to get a bit lazy with things. You think, oh, I wonder why that's not selling, and then do nothing about it and think, oh, it'll sell, give it another week, give it another week. We made the decision finally to put some wheels on it and it sold straight away, so I wish I'd done it in the first place. There we go. We live and learn. More excitingly, the Renault Megane Cabriolet has gone. 3,995, worth all its money, possibly, who knows, still don't know, but it's going off to France. So it's been a Hereford car for 16 years, always been local, and it's going to go off on its holidays. It's emigrating, it's going to France. Really nice guy on the phone, it's dealt with Tony over the weekend. Has got a right hand drive Citroen C3, but with French plates on it, French registered. It's a part exchange. So he's paid a deposit, he's going to pay the balance within the next few days, and then he's coming over for his, I think they've got a house here and a house there, or something like that. So they're coming over at the start of July. He's going to drive over in the Citroen and take the Megane away. So there we go. Wasn't in stock long at all. We had a shed load of interest in it, quite honestly. But the first one to put pen to paper, and it's gone. So our judgment was right. Whether it was luck or judgment, I still don't really know. Anyway, nice car. He's had one before. Likes the engine, the big 1.9. Has had it in another Megane, in a Laguna actually, I think previously. So obviously likes his French cars, likes France, and it'd be emigrating over there. So there we go. That's a nice one. Polo GTI. That's on its way to Loughborough in the morning, off to its new home. So we'll give that one a freshen up this afternoon. Peugeot 206 arrived. 2008. 08. 57,000 miles. 10 service stamps. Really straight and tidy car. Yeah, that'll be a cheap car, around 2 grand-ish, maybe a little bit more. I think it's worth that. I know it's a bit of an old style car now, but it's on a fairly newer registration, and you can't get cheap cars at the moment. It's as simple as that. This will come with full warranty, full MOT, all the usual kit that we do with our 4-year-old cars. So that'd be a good value little car for someone, good run around. And then this Fiesta came in part exchange against the yellow Nissan Juke that went out last week. We had 3 cars go out last Wednesday on the 1st of June. We had the Nissan Juke went on the Tuesday, sorry, and then we had the Mazda 3, the Mazda 2, and the Peugeot partner TP all went out on the 1st of June last Wednesday. Tony did all those because, like I say, I was running the workshop. So they've all gone off to new homes. TP went off to Brecon. The Mazda 2 stayed here in Ross, and the Mazda 3 went to Hereford. So all three of those have gone. This was the part exchange from the yellow Nissan Duke diesel. This is a Fiesta diesel 1.4 TDCi Z-Tech. It's done 103,000. 7 service stamps, I think. Obviously it's a cheap tax model on these. Bodywork looks okay from afar. In fact, it's not too bad. I'm probably being a bit harsh. Wing mirror's damaged. It's got a couple of cigarette burns on the seats. There's a few marks around on the rear bumper. Has had a dog. A couple of the alloys are a bit scabby. And it has a brake judder on the front, so I want pads and discs on it. Obviously it's done 103,000. We're not going to retail it. I put it on my trade to trade network, and it sold in about 7 seconds. I had messages coming out my ears. Cheap car. I think it's a 3495 retail probably, and we sold it for substantially less than that. It's going up to my friend Hugh at Auto Consult Cars up in Manchester. He's had lots of cars off me over the last couple of years through that network, so he put his hand up first, so that one's on its way. And we've had others arrive other than the 206. We've had a Toyota Yaris Sport arrive, and we've had a really nice Volvo V60 automatic also arrive. Lewis is busy cracking on with both of those now, so I don't want to disturb him, but you'll see those. Their individual walk around videos will soon be on. So yeah, it was a busy few days. I literally had 5 days off. Phone was off for work calls, so that was really nice. Watching one of your best mates get married is always a good crack. Plenty of beer, plenty of Prosecco, but I'm ready to attack it now for the next few weeks. We've had a couple of price drops on some of the cars that have been hanging around a little bit. They all seem to be in our Hereford site. I don't know whether it's a subconscious thing or whether we intentionally put cars over there that maybe don't sell so quickly. Probably because we're not there all the time, we forget about them a little bit perhaps. So we've had a price drop on a few of those. I never call it a sale. We don't have sales, we just have adjustments. So hopefully they'll get on their way. I'm going to change the pictures on a few of them as well, redo the videos, a couple of bits and bobs like that, just to make that effort to get them on their way. All nice cars, the same. They're prepped exactly the same as all the ones over here. It's just a couple of them are sticking a bit, the higher value ones, so we need to get those moved on. Been offered a lot of cars yesterday. I think the bank holiday slowed everybody down. I got offered 9 or 10 cars yesterday. I bought one, a Mazda 3 2.2 diesel. We've done well on Mazdas recently, as you've all seen. Mazda 3 2.2 diesel fastback. It's got a hell of a spec on it. Heads up, much like this one actually. Obviously it's a smaller one. It's a fastback, so it's like a saloony sort of one, but it's got a similar sort of spec. Navigation, heads-up display, Bose speakers, all that sort of thing. That's coming down from my friend Chris in Carlisle. Again, we've dealt loads, so I'll get that one transported down. Should be a good value car, that. And those 2.2 diesels, they go like absolute rocket ships. They're really good on fuel, but my god, they fly. Properly good engine, power-wise. So that'll be coming in, and we'll see what the rest of the week holds. Auctions have dipped in price apparently, from what I've been reading and what people have been telling me. So I'll have a look at that now. I'm back into it, and we'll see how we go. Catch you all later. Good morning, everyone. Thursday morning, midweek update. It's quiet. It is quiet. A shorter video this week, certainly. We've had a couple of cars come in. There's a Toyota Aygo in the workshop that I bought from Mannheim yesterday, and luckily Martin was delivering the Polo GTI down to Loughborough, and I bought it from Mannheim, Birmingham, so he diverted on his way back. So that was good, because I bought it at about 11 o'clock and it was back here by 12:30, so that's all good. Lewis is in the process of valeting that one. The Mazda CX-3 that was here, that has gone off to Mazda this morning. There was an outstanding recall on the fuel pump, or related to the fuel pump, so it's gone off to Mazda this morning for the free recall on that one. We like to get them done so that the customers don't have to worry about it when they pick the car up. We bought this Mini Mac from Hereford. It was on our other site, and I realised when it came into stock, I was actually on paternity, so there was no video done of it. I like to do all the videos myself, so there was no video of this one, so we bought it back, gave it a freshen up, stuck a video on, so hopefully that will get that one on its way. Other than that, it's dribs and drabs. I had a test drive on the Volkswagen Up yesterday. They're looking at quite a few of them, didn't want to make a decision there and then. They said it was the cleanest one they'd seen, but it was a little bit more than they wanted to spend, and I'm not really one for negotiating, especially when we haven't had the car very long, and especially on these Volkswagen Ups, when I know they're really good sellers and we do hundreds of them. This was the Yaris that came in, arrived with us on Monday, was advertised Tuesday, and I have a test drive on it in about 45 minutes time, so it's Thursday this morning, so this hopefully may be a quick turnaround, but you never know these days. So this is a 1.3 Sport. It's got the diamond cut alloy wheels, tinted rear windows, it's got satellite navigation, reversing camera, cruise, Bluetooth, all the nice things. It's done 36,000 miles on a 64 plate. It's got 7 services, been serviced right the way through its life. So really well maintained. Cheap tax as well. 6-speed manual gearbox. So I've got a guy coming to look at this at 10 o'clock. Nice car, I don't think he'll find a lot wrong with it, so fingers crossed for that one, quick turnaround. Haven't got a very big margin in this one. It's one of those where it seems to book really high and the retails have dropped a little bit, so I haven't got a lot to play with in that one, so hopefully it'll be a quick turnaround and then it doesn't really matter. And then you'll see outside workshop wise, we're packed today. That's in for an MOT, that's in for a service which we'll do to the Volkswagen schedule. We've got a Qashqai with a clutch gone. We've got Fiat 500X with the head gasket gone, but it's only just out of manufacturer's warranty, literally by a couple of months. It's a one-owner car and it's got full main dealer history. So we've said to the customer, it's not one we've sold or anything, in fact none of these are, they're just workshop customers, but we've said to the customer, speak to Fiat and see what they'll do, and fair play to the Fiat garage. They've been brilliant. Apparently they're going to come and collect the car for the lady free of charge and get the work done, so that's good. This one's in for a service. This one's got an injector problem, as they all seem to do, the 1600 Volkswagen diesels. That one's in for a service later. We've got pads and discs going on the Mercedes inside. We've got a Micra in the corner having pads and discs. We've got a service on a Mini going on, so yeah, busy today, just as we like it. And that's the good thing about having a workshop along with a car sales site. Obviously if you're a little bit slow on the sales front, then you've still got income coming in from the workshop, and when it's busy, that obviously helps pay the wages and pay the bills to have a big place like this. Sales isn't terrible, you know, it's just not, it's like pre-COVID times. COVID, I think, it caught us all by surprise how busy we were, and we weren't having to do quite as much work to actually get the sales. It was all online, the cars got delivered, job done. So it's gone back to sort of pre-COVID busyness. We did 18 in April, we did 19 in May, so we're ticking along, still making a living, but just not quite back to the frantic times of COVID. But anyway, we'll see how we get on with this smart little Yaris, and I'll update you later. So it is safe to say this week is not going brilliantly. Toyota Yaris people turned up, nice people, father and son, from Hong Kong. They haven't travelled from Hong Kong to look at the car. That would be a ridiculously long way to come for a Toyota Yaris, but from Bristol, but originally from Hong Kong. The kids at university in Bristol, dad lives over here now as well. Looking for a first car for the son, although he has had a license for a number of years over in Hong Kong, that's no problem. Specifically looking for a Toyota Yaris. It was the sport one that we hadn't had in for stock only a couple of days. Turned up, had a look round, really liked the look of the car, but they said it's the cleanest one they've seen by far. great. Thought we're on to a winner. All our cars are very clean, usually, and it's not blowing our own trumpet, but usually if people are going to look at a few cars on the same day or a couple of days, ours will almost always, and I'm confident, be the most well-prepared, clean cars out there. We're probably a bit over the top in the way we prep them, always the way we've been, but I'd rather be that way and send out really good cars. So, said it was cleanest one they've seen. Brilliant. They were extremely, extremely thorough, which I've no problem with. Got nothing to hide. I left them to it. I said, look, have a good look round. You can have the keys, open the bonnet, do whatever you like. I'll go into the office. Let me know if you want to drive it, whatever. So they were out there for about 15, 20 minutes, I suppose. I bought a Dacia Sandero Stepway from Mannheim in the meantime, a grade 1. Nice car. So I did that while they were doing all their assessments. Anyway, they came back in and they said, oh, the car hasn't done many miles in the last few years. I said, no, from the MOT history, it's done like 1,000 miles in the last 3 years. And COVID, possibly, who knows. They said there was a couple of rusty nuts under the bonnet, and a bit of surface rust on the exterior of the calipers, which bothered them. And the tyres were, the 2 rear tyres were produced in 2014, which is obviously when the car was registered. Tread's good, not perished at all. Wouldn't be something we'd be changing for an MOT or service. They were really well kept, excellent tyres. So they said the tyres would need replacing. They'd want to replace the calipers. Very extreme, but the calipers work. The brakes aren't binding. They're not seized on. Just got a bit of surface rust on them, obviously, with the weather the way it is, showers and all that sort of thing. You know, it's a really tidy car. Really, really tidy. For an 8-year-old car, it's as good as you'll ever see. So, yeah. So anyway, they drove it. Came back. Good test drive. Really liked how it drove. Said the interior was immaculate. 95% he said the interior and the exterior. Great. Then asked for a discount. I said, no, we've only had the car for sale for 2 days. It's a good price on Auto Trader. In fact, it's a great price on Auto Trader, I think. It's really where it needs to be. It's a one-owner car, full service history. I'd found another 3 services from Toyota this morning. I spoke to the main dealer who supplied it. They sent me an email confirming another 3 services, so it's had 7 services in 30,000 miles. It's a bang-on car. So I said, no, I can't do any discount. I'll tax it for you because it was 30 quid to tax it. It already had half a tank of fuel in it. That was the best I've got. Anyway, they said they'd let me know and contact me back later. But right from the outset, said it was the best one they've seen. And I said, if you want a brand new car, you're going to go and have to spend 20 odd grand on a brand new car because it's 8 years old. It's as good as you'll find out there, and I'm confident of that. Anyway, they said they'd let me know and didn't, so I called them at 5 o'clock and they said no, they're still going to keep looking. So can't win them all, but it just seems we're attracting some harder work customers at the moment. And I think during COVID we got used to everything was online, couldn't even come and see the cars. There's the video, make your own judgments, we'll get it delivered to you. And these days we've got customers, and they were there for an hour and a half, 2 hours in the end. And I still failed, so I think Dad's going to sack me. But there we go. Catch you later. Afternoon, everyone. Oh, I remember you all said make sure I do it this way around. Oh, there we go. Saturday. Oh. Funny. Don't usually do Saturdays often. Usually we get most of our business done in the week. And I'll try and spend some time with my little man on the weekend and my wife, all my friends, and try and have a bit of a chill out. It's quite stressful. Monday to Friday, workshop, sales, buying, selling, advertising, writing the theme tune, singing the theme tune. So we try and have a bit of time off. But when the phone rings, sometimes you can't resist. Had a phone call this morning. I was going over to Ross. You'll notice I'm trying to build an empire in my Hereford site this afternoon, and I was in Ross this morning handing over the blue Mini. They'd paid a reservation fee last week, so they came down from Rugby, drove it, liked it, bought it, took it away. Good. That was the one that we put the alloys on after having it a little while, when it had wheel trims on it, and I couldn't work out for the life of me why it didn't sell. Put some alloy wheels on it and it sold in 2 days, so that was obviously, that one should have done that from the outset, but hindsight is a wonderful thing. Anyway, had a call as I was on my way over there from a couple in Stroud who wanted to look at a Hyundai i10 that's here in our Hereford site. So I said, well, I've got my appointment at 11:30 in Ross. I'll do that one, and then I'll meet you at 2 o'clock in the Hereford site. It's about 20 miles between the two, so it takes a bit of time to get to and from. Yeah, no problem. So the car they were looking at was the Hyundai i10. Beautiful day in Hereford, by the way. Very nice indeed. Would have been nicer if I'd sold a car, but there we go. It was this one, 66 plate i10, 32,000 miles, one owner from new, 6995. Really good price range, bit of stock, however very limited specification wise. It's got electric windows, remote locking, but no aircon. Trust it to be 23 degrees today, makes it a bit more tricky. Anyway, they struggled to get comfortable in that one. Just couldn't quite get used to the clutch. It had a new clutch at Hyundai at the end of last year, so just one of those. I think they wanted a bit more specification as well. So there we are. But I do try. I don't just let people run away. So I said, well, if you want something that's that sort of size and that sort of budget, then we've got the Vauxhall Viva, same age, very similar mileage, but this one's an SL, so it's got the half leather, it's got the climate control, cruise control, Bluetooth, all the nice things. Even though it looks very, very similar to the i10, apparently much different to sit in, much different to drive, so they gave this one a thumbs up. But they're also looking at Toyota Aigos, and I have obviously that red one, 16 plate with 8,000 miles on it, 7,000 miles on it in our Ross site. So they're going to come and drive that one on Monday, all being well, unless they find one this weekend. So maybe I've caught them as customers, hopefully, but no deals done as yet. So never good on a Saturday when you don't sell a car. Should have stayed in the pub. But there we go. I'll go home now, 3 o'clock. Still got some of the day. When it's this time of year, it doesn't matter too much. Still got plenty of light left to go and walk the dog. Spend some good time with the family. So that is definitely it for this week. We've got a couple of cars arriving today, actually, in Ross when I'm not there. A Fiat 500 and a Ford Cougar. Bought Mercedes this morning, C-Class. I've got a Dacia Sandero arriving Monday or Tuesday. Freelander arriving. All sorts. So it's going to be a busy week next week, prepping stuff if nothing else. There we go. Have a good weekend. Thanks for all your support as always, and we'll catch up again soon.